Hello, hello, hello. I'm so excited. We are so excited. Back from Palooza, ThrivePalooza, y'all. So I guess this is my 10th ThrivePalooza. I've been here 10 years. They've had one every year. They actually used to be in September and then they started May and then now April, the last few years. It is actually always one of my most favorite times of year. I love seeing everybody. I am such a people person. This is so me. And I love it. I love getting all the training. I love hearing from new speakers. I love hearing from promoters I've never heard from before. And obviously, I love all the updates and announcements. I love new things. So I'm going to kick it off just by kind of updating a few things. What you're going to hear here, I want you to remember when you take this away, there are a few things that are under works or in the works, which means they're not yet a thing. They're not perfected yet. Do not run with them. Just know, okay, there's Jackie. Hold on. I'm going to make her a co-host there. Perfect. Okay. All right. So knowing that, I'm going to tell you just kind of a few things, like when we talk about the concept lab. So this is something that I truly love. I love about our company. I love about our CEO. Like he is all about trying things, getting in the lab, figuring things out. But sometimes, like, have you ever had an idea? Like, it sounds really good, and you map it all out, but then when you try to put it into an actual plan, it just doesn't work, right? So that is something you think of like scientists, right? Like I think of the concept lab, I think of like a scientist, and they're putting things together and they have all these great ideas, and then it just doesn't work. So one thing that he said was when you hear them talk about the concept lab tonight is that these are just that. It's a concept in a lab. And if it isn't good, if it isn't perfect, then he is not going to put it out. So when you hear these things, I don't want you to turn around in a few months and go, well, what happened to this or what happened to that? Well, it didn't work, and he's not going to put out a product that didn't work. I hope they all work. That's, we're going to run with that. But just know that, okay? That was something honestly that was big for me, was that he straight out said, if it doesn't work, I will not put out basically a crap product, right? And I think that's freaking awesome. Our company is all about premium, and they're not just going to put something out to get a quick sale. Okay, so customer credits. If you hadn't heard before, customers are getting 25% rebate credits on any new referral order they get. So if you have a customer and Sally refers Susie and Susie places her very first order, then Sally's going to get 25% of those credits of that as a rebate into her credits account. Okay, watch for more details about that. That is currently a thing. It's not just something that was happening behind the scenes. It is a thing. Also, you can see your customers' credits. So now you can go to my team, my customers, go all the way over. You'll see a column that says credits. You can toggle, I think you toggle twice, and it'll put the highest credits at the top. And then you can just see who has credits, and then you can message them because maybe they haven't ordered, but they have credits sitting there. Hey, Susie, I was looking in my reports, and guess what, girl? You still have credits. Let's get you back thriving. Or who do you have that you'd like to use those credits for? And then you can offer an incentive to help get them thriving for free in combination with their credits, right? Okay, so I'm gonna hand this over to Stephanie. I don't know where she went. Stephanie, I like a star face, and it was gone. There she is.
Launch, so do not mind my background. But you guys, this was my eighth conference with Lavelle. And with my previous company, I went to two conferences. And I can honestly tell you, I've never left a conference with my ass on fire the way that it is right now. Like these last past few days, my inbox has been blowing up. I have been messaging people that have quit, people that have left to get them to come back. Like I literally 4 batteries today my phone has been through. We have received so many amazing freaking messages, so much excitement. People are coming back, want to rejoin because they see what we're doing here. Okay. The biggest thing about conference is you guys missed out on one hell of a thing if you guys did not attend. And I will say that conference is never, oh, should I go? Shouldn't I go? Oh, but it's there. That's never on the plate. Yes, I know that airfare was quite expensive. New Orleans is a very expensive place, and they did give us a survey, which they never did a survey like that before, not that I remember. And I did put in the survey that, hey, New Orleans was so expensive. Please bring us somewhere like back to Dallas where it's so easy to get to. So I did put that in there and gave my true opinion about that. But they spoiled the crap out of us, you guys. All those that went to conference, we got this bundle 50% off that we have till tonight to go order off of all this product. If we want $1,200 worth of product, we only pay $600. Fingers crossed, hope to God that it's going to be passed out to everybody. I know a lot of you seen it on the Connect app today, but we're hoping that it's going to be. But to have that kind of first dibs and stuff like that, but coming into that room and feeling that excitement, you just knew that you were meant to be there. Every time that I go to a conference, to a getaway, to even any kind of Thrive event, I always pray to God, like, just tell me that this is meant to be, help me to be the best at, whatever event I'm doing. And the excitement that was brought this year, everybody, when we left conference, when they made the announcements of what's possibly coming in May, you should have seen me freaking out to Amber. I'm like, Amber, I gotta leave. I gotta get my ass to work. Me, Siobhan, and Ashley, we're all like, dude, our minds were just going. I'm like, we've got to go. And she's like, sit down, wait till after conference, and then you can get back to work. It's just,
I
you
was
guys
like, you
haven't.
got to take a picture. You got to take a picture.
Yeah, she wasn't. So she made me go back in there and sit down and, keep focusing. But, again, 8th year, hit top of the company. And that's just, I learned so much. I'm able to see people that inspire me, congratulate them. And hey, I see that you're doing this with your team. I see that you're doing this with your team. Your shirts, your jerseys that you got for your team. Tell me, what are you doing? And I learn so much every time that I leave on a personal level, on a leader level, mental level, all the freaking levels. But one thing special about this one was that we had so many people come that on our team that have never been to an event before. People were like, we're coming. They drove 15 to 17 hours from Wisconsin. They drove from Mississippi. People that couldn't afford plane tickets. Catherine, oh my gosh, a girl on my team, her flight on Friday was canceled. She paid an extra $600 to make sure she got her ass to conference because she was not missing that out. You guys, down at conference, she signed so many free customers, and she held an event this morning because people are like, okay, I see you. She signed 4 free customers today, handed out all samples. So props to Catherine. One thing that Susan and her girl, Rhonda, I think that they're on, so that's why I'm shouting them out, is that their first event here, and they're like, we see the vision. We see it. Like, we know what could happen to our lives. We see how you guys are in person as a leader. We see Amber's in my inbox meeting Chas. Like, that was so inspiring to them. They're like, what do we got to do? We want to get to that level. And I'm telling you guys, if you're ever, or your people are ever in a funk and you're questioning all the things like we all do in life, right? Conference is one thing you don't ever want to miss. I don't care. Chanel made a very good point today with her team. She talked about how conference, changed her mindset and how excited she was. All the people, she got to meet Jason Camper, go to the VIP party with him. She had such an amazing time. But she told her team, you guys, $5 a week. $5 every 3 days, whatever you can do, put that into a jar and get to conference because it's going to change your business. Start saving right now because who knows where it's going to be next year, but next year is going to be freaking amazing. And I say that intentionally and because I know it's going to be amazing because every year it just keeps getting better and better and better and better and better. But You see all the things that we're posting, you see all of our videos, all of our stories. That excitement cannot compare to being in that room, high-fiving everyone, like hugging everybody and just freaking celebrating. So many amazing things were announced, what's coming. If you guys are not excited, I actually even talked to Sheila Fasson on this on a plane ride home. And we're like, if you're not excited, I don't know what's going to excite anybody. Honestly, like we have a chance to not only change other people's lives, but change our own. Like me, I was telling my husband how much money is on the line for us if they come out with this new comp plan as 200Ks in the house. Like it's freaking mind blowing. Like think of all the things that could change, that could happen, that could come your way. And that's how you know you're in the right place, when you start seeing that vision and start thinking, okay, we're going to do this for our family, we're going to do this. So I don't know, it was effing amazing. Effing amazing. That's all I got to say about the conference.
I love you. Okay. So, on that, because I'm glad you touched on that, guys, we say it every year, start saving now. Literally, $5 or $10 off of every paycheck. We get paid weekly. So what if you save $10 every week, maybe a little more, but what can you save? And as you make more each week, then you can add in more. What, Steph?
Who was it? I think it was Megan that came. A girl did not transfer her commissions for like 6 months. And right before conference, that's when she clicked that button to have all that money transfer. So she did not have that like, oh, it's in my bank account, I'm gonna go spend it. That was like she treats her Lavelle money as her personal like little savings account. So when conference comes, she transfers her money, boom, she's got money to for gas, for her driving there, for food, for souvenirs, all the things.
That's perfect. I love that. I love that. Okay. And we've got daily pay bonuses, customer acquisitions bonus. Okay. So they just expanded that, right? So, customer acquisitions bonus, you can earn a crap ton of money, just by getting customers and $150 order. Each customer's $150 order plus, credits do not take away from that number for that. They do in the daily pay, but not in the customer acquisitions. All right, Katie. All right, Katie. I had such a great time with Katie this weekend. It was so much fun. I got to spend time with her and her team the first day, and then we were running into each other the whole time. So, Katie, I would love for you to just share with us what you took away from Palooza and what are some announcements and updates.
Okay, so a few things that I want to like piggyback off of with you and stuff. We're saying like start saving now. So I did the math. I added up everything that I spent between like flights, my ticket, food, and everything. Okay, and so what I did with our girls is we got like an Airbnb and we split it. If you can't swing the hotel, you can get an Airbnb, right? We just Ubered around. We were within walking distance of restaurants. We had a great time. And so I spent 1,200 bucks with everything. Okay, and some of y'all like I know some people have probably spent way more. I don't drink, so I didn't spend 500 bucks on alcohol. So I spent $1,200. Okay, so let's just say 1,500 to play it. Give yourself a little more. Divided by 12 months is $125, and that's 5 samples a month at 25 bucks a pop. Can you get out 5 samples a month? Because there's been times where I've gotten 5 out in a day. Give yourself, talk about the samples, do the reels, do the lives, do the posts, get out. If you sell a sample, tell them to go find their friends and get their friends samples and then help them thrive for free. 5 is not hard when you break it down and you look at the little things. Like Steph said, someone didn't transfer their paychecks. Where there's a will, there's a way. I wholeheartedly believe that. If I came up to you and I handed you the keys to a brand new Lamborghini and I said, it's yours, you just got to put it on the road, tags and registration, you'd find a way to tag and register that car, would you not, right? And so this is just as important to me because this is my vehicle, right? This is my Lamborghini. It's Thrive is my vehicle. So it's super important that I get there. That's me like tagging and registering my vehicle to make sure that it's going to take off the way that I want it to, is getting to Palooza. Okay. So failure to plan is a plan to fail. Make sure that you're planning for next year if you did not get there. Wow. I had a good time with Amber. Amber is a good time. You'll learn things about people, like I already loved her, but I love her more now because I know that she can do Footloose better than an 18-year-old. I seen her do it twice, y'all. I seen her You know, and I learned about some of our girls that like I thought I knew before, but oh my gosh, do I know them now, right? Some things that I can't even say on here, that I'll know and I'll love them more for that forever. You can get on a million Zooms, you can get on a million calls and conference calls and three-way chats, but something about like rubbing arms with people and locking arms with people and talking to them and getting in the rooms, it's unbeatable. You can't match that energy. There are literally things that I will remember for the rest of my life. So make a plan to get there. Something big that was huge for me. I do want to talk about some of the products that were launched. I don't know how much detail you wanted me to go into those about Amber, but something that really kind of stuck out to me was it is no secret that you know, in the last like year and a half, some leaders had walked away, right? People had walked away, they'd gone to venture off to something different, which is fine. But a lot of them came back. And so to see people swallow their pride and come back and start over at zero, number one, speaks volumes because they've seen what's around the block. They've seen what's out there and they came back for a reason because what we have is so dang special and it's only getting better with these comp plan enhancements that they were talking about with what's in the concept lab, y'all. I'm so excited. I'm like, please let them all work so they can all be released because I want every one of them. But watching some of these people that had left and walk away came back at zero, who are now accepting GO awards, accepting the fastest growth awards. Like if they can come back and start at zero, it's not too late. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you got it at the right time 5 years ago. Well, guess what? They're back now, brand new, started over at zero, and they're earning GOAT awards, fastest growth awards. Their teams are exploding. It's not too late. So take that off the table. And they're coming back doing it. So that just made me like, it was kind of like a perspective thing. Like, it's not too late. You could sign up today. You could have signed up yesterday, and you could still, you know, grow your business to wherever you want it to go. So new products. Do you want me to talk about those, Amber?
Yes. Why don't you and Jackie both
Okay.
come in and talk? Because I know y'all are products.
Okay.
So
One thing though that I did want to say, and I don't think I had like mentioned this. It wasn't like a public announcement, but I was walking the hallways and I ran into a woman. Do not remember her name. So Amber, maybe if you know it, you could chime in. She's the director of compliance, like the head lady of compliance. I cannot remember her name. She called me by name. She's like, "Oh my gosh, Katie," and I was like, how do you know my name? Like you know me by name. Like it was so awkward. But I sat down and I talked to her and she didn't make any promises, but I was like, because we just got the freedom to share VIP amounts, right? Like we can talk about the VIP amounts as long as we use the verbiage and the disclosure. And I said to her, I was like, is there ever going to be a time where we can share our auto bonus or like the rank advancement bonuses? Because commissions vary. I understand that, right? But like our bonuses, the amounts are the same. If you hit it and you earn it, it's all the same. She said they actually just did a Zoom and they're trying to figure out how to make that available to us. So she didn't make any promises, but I was like, please, Lord, if you could do it, like that's one less ticket for me to get. So I was super stoked about that. All right, products. I do want to just throw out like some of the things that they had said were in the concept lab. Again, like Amber said, you guys do not run with this. This is not something that is for sure coming out. Jason blatantly said, if they have these in the lab right now, if they do not work, they will not launch them. So I might say something that you don't see launch because they didn't figure out how to perfect it for us. Okay. They were talking about a mineral mix that replenishes your minerals. They were talking about a new hair growth system, which I was super stoked for. So that's in the works. They were talking about his daily support. The crowd went wild. They were talking about his daily support. We were all like, yeah. So that would be super cool to come out, which he said right now they're working on it. Would be like a 3-step system for them, capsules, mix, and a DFT. And so that he said, and I quote, a human jumper cable for your testes. It's like Jason. And yes, he said it in front of everybody. So I'm stoked about those. But what we do know is we have products launching tomorrow. Also, we got to try the shake out of the concept lab this time around. I believe it's cookies and cream. There's like cookie chunks in there. And I'm telling y'all, I'm not a big like sweet shake person. Because I don't like sweet things right first thing in the morning, but that cookies and cream, oh man, it hit different. It was so yummy. I have 2 of them. I don't even want to drink them because I don't want to, like, once they're gone, they're gone. Like, when can we have them, Jason?
I'm gonna jump in on that because I messaged Cliff because I was like, hey, there was no talk about this shake that we all got.
I thought for sure they were going to announce at the welcome party.
Yeah. So no. And then after the fact, I was like, wait, everybody's asking about it. When's it go? I'm like, I have no idea. So he did say that it's good to hear that people liked it and feedback. So you didn't hear this from me, but I would say if you sent support tickets and asked, when is this coming? That then they would get the idea that everybody really, 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 really wants it.
Oh, and I do want to give a huge congratulations to Amber because she won the award for most support tickets sent in. Anyways, moving on.
This is why I'm asking y'all to send that one.
No, you really did. They said that they said Chris Schmid and someone else. But I'm like, obviously it's them. You know what? I was actually standing in the front and your husband was right next to us, and I'm like, it's me or Amber. And it's for sure it's me or Amber. It's one of the besties.
I thought that they were gonna like call out somebody who's like the person who's received the most compliance tickets, and I was like, I will die if my name pops up. Okay, so but it was Amber or whoever else it was. Anyway, so what we do know are that there are products launching tomorrow. Okay, so and there's a couple of them. We have, and these are just my notes. So Jackie, if you have different notes, I was just typing as fast as they could talk and not like the video was playing. We have Thrive Pro O2 capsules. It says it's got key ingredients to promote energy. It's ideal for taking exercise to your next level. Heart healthy benefits. Take before your workout. He said it will help with shortness of breath or like during high altitude. So that would have came in handy for me in Denver last year because the altitude really kind of messed with me. So there's that. Sculpt Pro, which I'm stoked for. I'm like, I'll do dirty things for some Sculpt. Like I love me some Sculpt. So the fact that there's the Pro now, it's a pre-workout powder. So it's not going to be pills. It is a powder. It's like fruit punch flavored. Supports energy and focus with endurance, aids circulation and blood flow, and supports lean muscle mass. There's a new shake too. It's the Thrive Pro Lifestyle Mix. To my knowledge, it's just going to be vanilla. We got vanilla to try. 20 grams of protein, supports recovery after your workout, and replenishes your body so you recover faster. He did say, can you use it as a step 2 in your morning routine? Personal preference. So like if you want to, yes. If you don't want to, that's okay. I did flip the back over to my normal lifestyle mix, my vanilla one, and the ingredients, some of them are the same, but there's a lot of ingredients that differentiate from like your normal step 2. So I'm interested in seeing, like I haven't taken it as step 2. I will try it and just kind of see the difference, but there was kind of a big difference in the ingredients.
So I looked
noticed.
at that. One thing I will say, now this is definitely more of a protein drink. So it did taste more. Jason made one this morning and it did taste more like protein drink, but it was still really good. But it looks to be like there's no caffeine in it. So I have not sent in a ticket yet. But if there's no caffeine in it, then now you have a shake that would work for people that cannot have caffeine.
Okay.
So because in the original shake it says caffeine from black tea, but this one it doesn't say black tea or anything. So
and that's good to know too for people who are sensitive to caffeine, because I have customers who are so sensitive they can only do just one vitamin and like half of a shake because of that. So that's good to know. The other one was the creatine gummies, which I tasted, and I'm blunt and honest. I will tell you, I don't think they taste as good as the sleep gummies. Okay, the sleep gummies, I'm like literally I would eat 10 of them if they wouldn't like almost kill me. But second runner up. Like they were very, very good. They were very good. And they worked. I swear at the VIP event, I was joking with Jas because we all got to sample the creatine. And I said, Jason gave us all creatine and then watched it work in front of his very eyes because he had just said earlier that day, he was like, I will never launch a product that does not work. That night, he fed us all creatine and we were foot loosing and we were like cha-cha sliding and Casper sliding and I don't know what Janetta was doing. Like it was just a good time. And so, and Amber had even said, she's like, I always dance, but I always hurt the next day, and she didn't hurt. So that was super cool.
So that is something. So for me, like I dance anyway. So I'm not going to say the creatine gummies made me dance more. Maybe, I don't know, was my Footloose better Saturday night than Friday night? I'm not sure. It was. Okay. So we're going to say it's the creatine. But I do typically feel like for the next 3 days, like I've been through a leg and butt workout, and I haven't hurt not once. Like I haven't been sore. I haven't been like, oh, why is my glutes, like I haven't none of that. And so anyway, okay.
I'm gonna jump in. We're gonna stay on
Jackie.
products because products is my jam. I actually do
Yes.
go to the gym. So this whole pro fit line is, I'm pretty sure if like, Jason is probably gonna wipe out our entire Thrive Fit line for this. Okay. So Circulate might be going away. With the protein, it's going to be a straight up protein shake. Okay. Like he did say you could use it as a step two. I am stoked that it does not have, that might not have caffeine. And if you guys do end up supplementing that for step two, you might want to get your customer on that plus biotic, right? Because this thing probably does not have probiotics in it. So that's really good. Creatine is a product just like Sculpt. You need to take it often for you to see results. So there is like a building time that when you do take creatine, that it starts to work. You can't just take it here and there. All the gummies, in my opinion, they all taste like fruit snacks. All the fruit snacks kind of taste the same, but kind of different. That's how I see all of our gummies. But yes, creatine is going to be a really good one. And for most fitness people who take creatine, they're taking scoops of it of powder. Same thing with Sculpt. Like if you are actually in the fitness world, you're taking glutamine or BCAAs, they take it in a powder form. So the creatine gummies and even our original Sculpt capsules are very, very intriguing to people because they're not popping all these powders, right? This is something that's very easy for them to take. So I love it. If you guys have gym friends, there is no such thing as a creatine gummy that's out there right now. At least I don't think. So this is going to be a really big thing. Okay. So do not sleep on that. The O2 capsules, he did say something, I mean, no medical claims, but it does say in the description from conference that this is something that's going to help you maintain a normal blood pressure level. And if you guys ever hear, that's one of the biggest concerns when people come in, they're like, I take blood pressure medication. Of course, people have to continue to take their medications. Yes, they can probably still thrive, but they want to consult their doctor. But this is a product that if you guys hear that cue, you might tell them, hey, our O2 capsules might be for you, right? No medical claims, but this is kind of along the line that is going to be a holistic way for you to, start your Thrive experience and enhance it. Okay, so those O2 capsules, if I had to guess, I have not looked at the ingredients. There was no bottle of O2 capsules floating around, but this is probably going to be a product that the Pro Sculpt, the new Pro Sculpt and the O2 capsules are almost like Circulate broken out into two different products. Okay. So O2 capsules is going to be, like they said, like enhancing your lungs and, performance and stuff like that. Because what do you need when you're working out? What do you need when you're doing cardio or lifting a bunch of stuff at the gym? You need your lungs, right? You need a healthy, if your heart's beating out of your chest, like this is something that's going to regulate and get you into that. So that's what those O2 capsules are. Now, Pro Sculpt, again, back into the fitness world, there's a lot of people who take tons of pre-workout, right? They take these, pre-workouts with 300 plus milligrams of caffeine. Our new Pro Sculpt, it smells delicious, you guys. It's a fruit punch flavor. I haven't tried any of them yet because I want to try it with the gym. That way I can give my honest review because I am a supplement junkie, right, with those things. But I am somebody who takes Sculpt. I'm somebody who takes Circulate. Those are my two things that I take. So I want to give it, I want to try the new products. I have them all except for the O2 capsules. And when I do, I'll give you guys, I'll tell you guys how I feel. But there's a lot of people who take pre-workout because they like that caffeine jump, right? I personally, I don't like the caffeine jump. I'm somebody, I like the non-stimulant. I love our Sculpt has no caffeine and I like that Circulate has none either. But we might see those products go away, right? Because Jason has created things that are more superior. Like that's what he said. He said these are more superior. So if we see those things go away, then they're going to go away. We will probably keep the regular Sculpt though, because Sculpt alone is amazing, right? That's something that we use a lot of. And then for the cookies and cream shake, like Amber said, go and tell support. There are real little cookie bites in there, right? That
But
was something.
don't say Amber said.
But for me, I'm a snickerdoodle. I am a fudge brownie kind of girl, and those are my favorite ones. And I actually want to see the cookies and cream a little bit more creamy. So we'll see. I'm gonna put my 2 cents in and see what they do and see what they say and if they put it in. No, actually, regular Sculpt will not go away. Just like how we have Move and Move Pro. They're not getting rid of those. Like if anything, the I don't know, maybe the Thrive Fit line might, because this is going to replace it, this new Pro one. But
Well,
the
and
Sculpt
it's
capsules are
currently
here
out
to
of
stay.
stock. So not
Is
not
it?
Sculpt, but the fit line. So I feel
Oh, yeah.
like, yeah.
Wow. Okay, but regular Sculpt, I'm sure that's here to stay because that thing's not going anywhere. That one has no caffeine. And then okay, so back to the some of the concept things that we were talking about, the hair system. Like I know a lot of people will be really excited about that. His daily support. How many of you guys have already had her daily support change your life? Right? This his daily support is something that Jason Camper had talked about in like previous, conferences about a supplement for men. And the way that our company and everything should be gearing towards, and I've been really passionate about this in general, is that, and there was a panel about this, I don't remember if who was on it, but they were saying like this is not just a business for women, right? Like yes, like 90% of the thrivers in our company and of our clientele is women, but if we just come up with a product, so hopefully this thing works, right? This his daily support, that's the direction that they're moving into, is that we create more marketing not just for women, right? We need to be open for business for everyone, not just women, right? So really think about that when you guys are out there promoting, like, talk more about the men. I love HDS. I take it every single day. It's absolutely changed my life as well. And it's something that, if we can get more men on board for this, your businesses are going to grow, right? And you guys will be able to share it with your number one supporter, your hubby, as well. And the replenish mineral powder, if I had to like look at that, my guess is that's going to be almost like a daily detox, like some of those ingredients and stuff with the minerals and stuff. But besides that, with the whole future of Lavelle, Jason Camper really, really spoke about the word future, right? Like we need to look at the future. We can't look at the past and say, oh, well, we did this and we did that. And, like what we've done is great, but where we're going has to be 10 times greater, right? Like we can't focus on, and, even Katie and some of the leaders were talking about this. We have seen people leave, they've left without, maybe they didn't go to a conference. That's why conferences are so important, to put back in the belief. And Jason Camper was so fired up, you guys. I've never seen him blast up competitors like charts on the back. I was like shocked. I'm like, oh my God, our CEO has so much balls, so much grit. You know what I mean? Like he has his head down and he's looking at all this stuff. You guys, the things that he does it to protect our company, right? Like we're not in DSN. He's not rubbing shoulders with those guys, being fake and all those things. I loved it. I was sitting there and I was just like, this is why this is my CEO. This is why he is my mentor. This is why I've bought into this vision 5.5 years ago, and why I'm still like, you know what I mean? Like nothing has changed. It doesn't matter what leader leaves. We've had huge leaders leave, you guys, and I don't envy them. I really don't. I just put my head down. I'm here, you know. And some of the stuff that Jason said about the future is just like, we have like, we will be growing internationally. And like some of these things, like we're lucky we have a CEO who is constantly innovating, right? He's not going to keep an outdated product on the shelf. He's going to take it and turn it into something better. And that's what he's done, right? But one thing is for sure, if you guys take away anything and you guys like look at other companies or whatever, we have the same 3 steps from day one, right? The same 3 steps. You can sign somebody up with the class, with the lifestyle package, with the same DFT, and it's still the same product that has changed like millions and millions and millions of lives, right? We're $3 billion in the US and Canada alone. And Canada is just a little speck of that. And there's other companies out there that have gone international, right? They've gone international in other places, and they can't even scratch like 1 to 2 billion in like a bunch of different countries, you guys. We're not just like some tiny baby company, right? Um, and yes, the grass is not greener. You're here for a reason. No other company can compare. About the compensation plan updates, right? We did hear a lot about those things. The lifestyle bonuses that they're coming out with that are under development. Like Amber said, like some of these, like they're great. When I see it, I'm just like, holy crap, a 4K can come in, and as long as they sign somebody like that goes 4K in a rolling 12 months, they're gonna get a $500, lifestyle bonus in the works, right? We're still in the works with this, but there is something for you guys to work for, right? And if you do that, it automatically brings you one team member to work with, right? So these new lifestyle bonuses is literally teaching you to duplicate. Go find your next promoter, right? That's what they want you to do year after year. Is even if you had one solid business partner that joined you once a year, you can get some kind of bonus if you guys build it together. This is not like it's great. Our company celebrates the goats and the top PPAs and the people who bring in a bunch of people. You have a bunch of those people on the Zoom. Katie is a PPA rock star, right? Twin is a PPA rock star. Angela is a PPA rock star. Guess what? I am not a PPA rock star. My bestie Amber is not a PPA rock star. But whatever it is, you have to own what are you good at, right? And that's what it takes to build a team. But I love the compensation plan updates and stuff. We all have goals. Something I want you guys to remember is we all start at zero, right? Every single month we start at zero. We started where you guys were. And another thing, what was I saying? And if you're trying to go back and rebuild your business for wherever you're at, if you guys have any kind of volume at the end of the month, congratulations, because you're not starting at zero ever, right? And I know that in the beginning of the month, we kind of like look at our businesses and you can't really see stuff. So I want you guys this month, right? Especially towards the end of the month, go into your organization and see who's still buying, see who's still working, see who you can revive. Because if you look at it on May 1st, you'll see nothing. But if you look at it from like about right now all the way into, if you go into your cloud office and start looking at who's placing orders in the month of April, and you keep looking at it towards the end of the month, you will find somebody in your organization that maybe you can work with, right? You'll find something. But yeah, anything else? Who else do we have? Who else is speaking today?
It's us, the four of us. I want to touch on a couple of things, then we can bring Stephanie back as well. So the Sculpt Pro. So I didn't take it because we all know I don't work out. But Carson, I had him take it before he went to go ride and train today. And when he made it, I made him let me taste it. And so when he shook it up, he smelled it and he goes, it's grape. And I was like, I don't think it's grape. So then I smelled it. I was like, no, that's fruit punch. Like that is straight up fruit punch, high C smell. He smelled it again. He was like, okay, I don't know why I thought it was grape. Anyway.
I thought it was grape too at first, but I haven't opened it yet.
Well, no, he opened it and for whatever reason, but I was like, no, that's straight up fruit punch. But it tasted to me, it tasted like a Smartie. Like it didn't taste what I thought. It smelled like fruit punch. So like when I took the drink, I didn't feel like it tasted like drinking fruit punch. It tasted like when you bite into a Smartie. That's just me. I want to hear y'all's feedback and thoughts when you get this product in.
Did we talk about the customer? You touched on it a little bit, right? The customer, pretty much the little customer comp plan.
Yeah, the acquisitions bonus.
Well, there's that too, which is
I
amazing.
talked about the credits.
Okay.
The 25% rebate.
Okay, yeah. Then
yes.
So we can see now
the acquisitions bonus. What email? Which?
That we can see in the cloud office now when you scroll all the way right in the reports, you can see when your customer has credits.
Yes, it is there, but I don't know that we got an email about it yet.
No, we haven't.
Okay, but y'all don't need the email. Just trust us. Go to my team, my customers, scroll over, toggle twice. You're good. Okay. Trust me. Now go message all your customers that have credit. Okay. Customer acquisitions bonus. Listen, just trust me. I'm the most support ticket winner over here with my little trophy. Okay. Customer acquisitions bonus. That's for every 20 customers, it's $150 or more order, right? But I said you can use credits. For every 20 customers, referrals count, you get $1,000 bonus. This has been going on, right? Well, it's, to my understanding now, it's unlimited, right? Like, so for every, because that's what that picture says, for every additional 20 qualifying customers, earn another $2,000 bonus. So like, it shows if you have 120 customers, you can get a $10,000 bonus. Like this right here is, and this is, I didn't understand it when they first said it, and I had to ask later, and I asked Maria, and it made sense. This is for those people that don't want to build a team, that they're just customer, what do you call that? Customer workhorse, right? Like the people that are like, I can just get customers. Okay, great. You could literally earn a $10,000 bonus every month. Like, really. So that's for those people that are like, I don't want to promote, I don't want to build a team, but I can get customers. So Jackie, Katie, Stephanie, what's your thoughts on that?
I'm stoked. Like, where else can you go and earn $10,000 a month without having a team? Like, you can literally be a brand promoter. Like, you don't even need to do 4K. I mean, okay, hang on. So if you do this, you're gonna be 4K, right? Well, no, in mine, because you wouldn't have the legs, right? But that would be over 4,000 in volume. So just the 20 customers alone would be $1,000, right? And so there are people out there who are, customer machines who maybe they struggle a little bit with building a team, or maybe they're like, I don't want to recruit. It's not my jam. I don't want to be that one talking about this business, but I do love the products, and I do know people who want the products. Like, this is for you. This is for you. And then customer referrals count. I'd be out there getting all my customers thriving for free. I'd be incentivizing with my credits. I'd be running promos like it ain't nobody's business. I'm excited. I'm so excited over that. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money without building a team. Sign me
It,
up.
it will be really big. And even like, let's just say you did have somebody that came in and had a ton of customers. Like, all you have to do is tell that one promoter who just loves to sign customers, if you have somebody that wants to promote, please connect them to me. So then they can at least get the help that they want to actually promote, right? And that promoter could still build a team without really having to
Right.
build a team, right? Like, it's just getting out of their own way. Like, oh, this person wants to promote, great. Like, maybe they might even turn into another customer promoter just like them, right? Can you imagine having an entire leg of a bunch of promoters who don't really want
You
to
just
build
get
a team?
customers.
And I mean, I would love to have a couple of people under me that just signed like 100 customers each. Like, my checks would be as fat as theirs, right? Like, it would be it's crazy.
Yeah.
But that being said, with all these different things, like, not to overwhelm you guys, keep the main thing the main thing. When you guys ask brand new people that come into the business, ask them, like, what are your goals? What do you feel like you'd be good at? Do you feel like you can get people to promote this? Do you feel like you just want to sell to customers? And work with everybody accordingly, right? Because if that's the case, you'd be like, hey, well, we have this amazing customer incentive, like, get these acquisition bonuses. And in case you have somebody that wants to promote, I know you told me that's not your jam, just connect them with me, right? So just to not confuse things, but you have to, like Angela spoke about this on stage, you guys need to know exactly what your people's goals are. What do they want? How much time do they have to put into the business? And we have something for everybody. The same way that we have a product for almost everything in the health and wellness space and every issue you can almost think of, right? Is we have now things for the opportunity. You don't want to promote? Okay, just be a customer. You can refer for me, right? You want to you can get a bunch of customers, but you don't want to build a team? Okay, here's these customer acquisition bonuses. You do really want to build and you have network marketing experience, like, here, look at our amazing compensation plan. We have it all here. Which part of it are you going to grab? And let me know when you need help, right? That's basically all we have to do now.
I have a question that maybe one of y'all wrote it down, because I apparently didn't write it down. I took all these pictures and I wrote notes, but missed it. The customer acquisitions bonus, so it is extended, but I don't think they said this is permanent yet, right? They just said,
Yeah.
so
They
when
just
is
want to see if it works. It's till the end of the year for now.
okay, extended through the end of the year. Okay. Because I thought that, but I'm looking, I'm like, I didn't write it down, so I don't know if that's right. Okay, Stephanie, are you chomping to say things?
Oh, no, I'm listening and writing. The one thing I will say is that what I love about all of this, it literally gives us all a freaking path to, yes, Michelle, till the end of December. It gives us all a path to literally make $200 every single day. What I've been doing with my personal customers, everyone that signs $100, $150 or more, I'm sending them a 4-day sample so they can give 2 friends 2 free day samples to get them to thrive for free. And that's just going to count more towards me. So definitely incentivize your customers like crazy right now, especially if they're feeling so damn good.
Well, and you know
Get over
what? I
more.
think it was Blair Critch that said that she incentivizes her customers with samples. I think she says, I have 4, your
Right.
order qualifies you for 4 samples. Would you put me in a group of your friends? And I love that she said, tell me your top 3 things. What, what you notice of your Thrive, right? So what is it doing for you? More energy, better sleep. I lost 5 pounds. Okay. So she says, put me in a group with 5 people that you know that want more energy, better sleep, and maybe want to lose some weight. And so you're not overthinking, who you're reaching out to. So she gets her customers to put possible referral potentials in a group. And then she says, hey, I've got 4 samples. Her order qualified for 4 samples, and she thought of the 5 of you. If you are interested and you would be open to this, please let me put you in I'll get you a private message. I don't know exactly what she said on that. But she said, she takes it off to a private message so that it's not all 5 of them knowing each other's business. But that, and Stephanie just saying that reminded me about that, right? So that is something that you can run after. So another announcement, and then I want takeaways on speakers and things like that. Suzanne, Steph had just said that when she gets a customer, she gets samples in their hand. She says, I've got samples for you to get your referrals. So that led me to talking about what Blair said on stage. Okay, Thrive and Mingles are coming back this summer. Guys, I dropped the ball personally on Thrive and Mingles this last go round. I helped leaders host them and other things, but I wasn't really doing my own. And one of the things that I took away, I wrote down from one of the speakers, I think it was actually, it might have been Jason Cameron that said talked about doing self-assessments, building a better me, doing self-assessments of what I am doing and what I'm not doing. And I was like, I did not do enough Thrive and Mingles. And so when this comes out, I'm going to be a machine. That's my personal goal is I'm going to get back to hosting more events and even hosting online events. Because, sometimes you get in your own head. Charles Clark, if you went and saw him, he said, your vision will never be based off of your past. Bet on you. And one thing he said was, what is your gap? Where are you stuck? My stuck gap was that I tell myself that I'm not good enough. And I tell myself that people have heard from me too much. So I slink back sometimes, and that is not going to be the case now coming back from ThrivePalooza. So I think we have said all of the announcements. Okay, the bundle. Do not forget the build your own bundle. It ends tonight. They did hint that they would maybe open it up and we were just early access, but I kind of figured that would mean they would have opened it up like today or something. So I just don't know. Again, going to conference gives you benefits.
Amber, I was wondering if I wasn't sure because the new products launch tomorrow, and I know we can't use like credits or like promo codes with new stuff. So I wonder if that's why they have ours ending tonight, and then maybe like would think to launch it like month end or like just exclude the new stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
How
But
cool would that be?
But yeah, right. So, but I wanted to remind y'all though to go ahead and grab that. Again, conference has its benefits. But go ahead, grab your bundle. I wanted to just do some quick numbers for you because I know some people have already kind of launched themselves and hit bonuses because of this, because not only is it's a 50 off. So if you spend $600, if you buy $600 worth of product, you're only spending $300. But you're getting $1,800 in QV. So like who in your team that was at conference, one hits a bonus, one hits a bonus, like, you see what I'm saying? It literally would just stair step all the way up, just by doing this. And I'm not telling you to like overbuy product. I'm telling you, one, buy what you need. Two, buy product for samples. Are you doing, I know Katie does this and others and myself, do you do customer thank yous for your auto ships? So grab Blast, grab Thirst, things that are going to be great for this summer. And so you can send those out, right? What's your favorite shake, or, whatever. My kids, well, Dalton lives elsewhere, but like Carson, like they drink chocolate like it's go now style. They like double scoop, like they don't just do a normal scoop, they like scoop. And so it doesn't even last the whole amount of time, right? So we're stocking up on chocolate for sure. So just remember that, do the math, check that out. I told you my takeaway, not dwelling on the past. You can't always control your situation, but you can control your attitude. And I think that's super freaking important. And I think I need to like tattoo that somewhere on my body. Okay. So, Jackie, takeaway, was there any like speaker or certain thing that you pulled in that you're like, I'm running with this?
I mean, there was a lot. I mean, our main stage panel this year was just incredible. Like each leader brought their very, very solid tips. Like if you just took home one of those speakers' things and came home and implemented it, like your business would change, right? They brought home that one home run tool that they can give to you guys. I mean, there's so many of them. Not just being biased. I mean, I loved Angie's. I loved Angie's. I'm like, oh my God, that is like so true. There was a couple. I would definitely have to go and dig back into my phone. But anyone who did actually go to ThrivePalooza and you have a lot of content in your phone, I want you guys, don't just let that stuff die in your phone or die in your notebook or any of those things. This week, I really want to challenge you guys to train it back to your teams, right? Even for myself, I have told myself, you know what, I'm going to start hosting more Zooms, especially in this week, just so this stuff doesn't die in my phone or die in my notebook. Like, I want to get it out to as many people as possible, right? This doesn't have to continue if you don't want it to. Like, me personally, I host a Zoom every week. I always have, right? I host multiple Zooms a week, but I'm going to amp it up a little bit and host a couple more because there's a lot of topics that maybe you guys might need some help with, right? And things that I really want out of my phone as quickly as possible. I don't want it to die with me. I want the fire to go, from me to the team and onward. Now, that being said, I went to Palooza. If you did not go to Palooza and you see someone hosting a post-Palooza Zoom, you guys hop on it, right? Like make sure you get on it because this is fire that's coming straight from the fire, right? They were there. They're gonna come and they're gonna train and give you what they've got. I know that who's hosting tomorrow, Tuesday's leadership. That's gonna be a lot of takeaways.
Yes. So it's me and Chastity, mainly Chastity, and there's 4 people on there that are going to be sharing their takeaways. So that's what I was going to say, is that all week long, we are doing like pop-up Zooms. So tomorrow it's going to be the normal Tuesday leadership Zoom at 11 Central. And having people talk, like we've got some that this is their first Palooza, right? So all week long we're going to be having pop-up Zooms, some in the evening, that are from people that went to Palooza and maybe went to the different breakaway sessions and come back with bringing you some of that info. Because here's the thing, we couldn't all be in every class, we couldn't all be in every training, which honestly I had so much FOMO because I was like, I want to hear this one, but I also need this. So that's a very hard space for me to pick and whatnot. But I will say, go look also, if you go back through your cloud office, or maybe they're even in Thrive Connect, the Elevate series from Lavelle, they did those leading up to Palooza, featuring those headliner speakers that were in Friday breakaway sessions. So like Charles Clark, Make Sales Great Again. Oh my gosh, what's the lady's name? I can't think all of a sudden. Starts with a J. Jerabine. Um, Jerabine and I don't know who the other I can't think of the other one. Anyway, but they were great, y'all. And so they have the Elevate series, and I think they saw the recordings that you can go and watch them. You can look them up. Like I personally, I loved Make Sales Great Again, MSGA, like that duo, these two guys, and they were really good with closing, and with some ideas on kind of getting out of certain ways and habits. And they picked people, and I did get to be a closer. I closed the closer, so that was kind of cool. But dig into the people that stood out to you, and if you somebody that you missed, like make sure that you are going to find out who about them and learn about them and learn take their tips and tricks is what I'm trying to say. I'm babbling. Okay, so yes, Jackie.
I will say this too. If you guys like hop on these Zooms and like get the training that's coming from these Palooza things, but a lot of it is going to be pop up. A lot of it will go back to normal into just the standard training
Mhm.
Zooms. But don't get into the cycle where you're just overtraining yourself and not doing anything with it, right? So if you're going to do anything and take action, and you decide I want to put myself out there more, maybe just start with interviewing you and your team, right? Or if you don't have a team, do a collaboration, maybe like some kind of opportunity call, right? And if you guys don't have something where you guys can actually host an opportunity call by yourself, there's always those Thrive live events. Like volunteer for it, or maybe ask your 200K upline and say, hey, is there any Thrive live events that are coming up? Like I would like to volunteer myself, right? Because at the end of the day, if you're like, I don't have a team to build with, I don't have this and whatever, and you're totally overtrained, it's time to flip it and start talking about opportunity and sharing your story and getting back to those basics, right? Because once you do that, you'll get new people, and then you can start training because you need to train new people, right? That would be like the action. That's a lot of what I personally would like to see, like coming out of Palooza, right? Like getting new people into the opportunity. You're gonna see a lot of fire from like now and then even until May. And then just to be completely honest, June, when all the kids get out of school, everybody gets really busy, right? Everyone gets really busy. There's gonna be a lot less Zooms again, but you need to build right now, right? So that you have people to work with, through the summer and stuff. And, it rinse repeat. Like, like a lot of the leaders said, like, make sure you guys get to Palooza next year. Go in there and vote. I voted for Nashville because I've never been, a little selfish for me, even though I thought about it, I'm like, you know what, that one might be a little bit hard for people to get to. My other one that I voted for was Atlanta because I know it's a big city and I know there's a lot of like hotels and everything, and there's a lot of direct flights. So I think that one might be a little bit easier to get to. Everyone likes Dallas because it's right in the center of, everywhere. It's like home, like it's your stomping ground, Amber. Like,
I did vote. I voted in Nashville because I freaking love Nashville.
yes.
Although Stephanie said if we went to Nashville, nobody might make it to conference. But I voted in Nashville and I voted Salt Lake City because we've never been west,
Thank you.
like the
And Salt Lake City is MLM capital of like the United,
yeah.
if
And
you
it,
guys
it's
can
just
tell.
it's really hard for the people in that time zone or whatever you want to call it, that geography area to get all the way, East Coast and whatnot. So I kind of was a little bit not selfish in that thought. I thought, you know what? Let's allow people that
You
don't.
know what? And another thing, you guys, shout out to all of you guys who did make it to New Orleans.
Mhm.
Just because it definitely was not cheap to get there. A lot of you guys had stopover flights, connecting flights. Twin didn't even make it home today. I almost didn't make it home yesterday.
Oh,
Lena didn't make it home until today either. Like there was just so
yeah.
many flight delays, but a lot of people had a lot of fun. And this conference was really, really, really good. You know, even GA, they got to sit down in seats where they actually had desks, which I was like, oh my God, that's huge bang for your buck. If you guys bought GA and actually got a desk almost like the VIP, right? It's just you got to sit a little bit further back. This was the year to do it, right? We've never, well, I don't think we've never, all the years that I've been going to Palooza, general admission never had a place to sit other than a chair and a notebook, right? But you know, the most important thing is that you get your ass in the room, right? That's the most important thing. So this conference was definitely one for the books, one not to forget. And we just have such a gracious you know, corporate staff and our CEOs. I mean, the first person, you know, our CEO is my idol. First person he celebrates and thanks when he gets onto that stage is his wife. You know what I mean? When they, hey, come congratulate the team, the first two people that walk out is the wives of the guys who are running the ship and keeping like all the ideas and everything. Like they just do so much for us, you guys. And if anything, when we're coming back from this ThrivePalooza, we need to return the favor, right? We're not just returning it for them, we're returning it for ourselves so we can build better futures for ourselves. Because what are we here for? What did you guys spend, you know, maybe anywhere from 500 to 1,000 to maybe even a little bit more? If you actually went to Palooza, you spent that money. I want you guys to go get it back as quickly as possible through action, right? Like make it happen. Make something happen, right? Don't let all this fire and knowledge die with you. And it was hard. I know a lot of people, like even for myself, I wanted to do all the sessions. I couldn't. I was distracted. I'm like, oh my God, I saw somebody, I need to talk to them. I saw this person, I saw that person, and we need to connect. And you know what I mean? It was hard, but pay very close attention, especially in this next month, I'm gonna say, for these breakout sessions to come home, for the trainings and stuff, and like because there'll be more. You know, we have a very short amount of time to speak on these ThrivePalooza stages, and they'll be bringing a lot more back on Zoom. So
And okay, I want to wrap this up. I wanted to be less than an hour. We're right at an hour. So their rumor is there is a State of Lavelle tomorrow night at 7, which makes total sense because the paperwork said that the pro is going to launch tomorrow. So my guess is State Lavelle talking about pro, and then the pro will probably launch after that call. That's just my guess. Don't go around saying Amber said. But that is my guess. And Maria is also having a Zoom recap tomorrow then at 6 o'clock. So hers is at 6 and State of Lavelle at 7. So the email should, if it doesn't come out tonight, it'll come out in the morning, I'm sure. So, all right. Thank you guys so much. Go send the message. Go, do not be scared. Go find your friend. Go send the message. Who do you want to partner with? Just go ask them. That's it. All right. Good night. Thank you, ladies, for being on. And thank you, everybody, not just for going to Palooza, but also for getting on this Zoom and getting the updates.